backstage at Creamfields with the one and only Kissy Sellout. How are you doing? How was your set? Because I missed it. Sorry.
I know you could have at least lied and said you were there. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. I mean, I don't know. When I heard a few months ago that we'd been booked with my live bands on the main stage at Creamfields, I was just like, that's completely crazy. I think it's almost like a mistake, but we just done it and it went well. I think.
Yeah.
So,
oh, well done.
a bit buzzing a bit still.
No, yeah. Still, how does it feel when you come off stage after? Because you've had all those guys cheering, shouting, you've been playing your stuff. How does it feel right at this moment?
I don't know. It's not really sunk in, to be honest, because I just don't. I don't know. I just can't believe I was on there. I don't really feel worthy enough, to be honest. So it was yeah. Was anybody there? Because it was. I thought it went quite.
We've been really busy doing all these interviews. I'm so sorry, but it's great to meet you because I kind of discovered you like last year, and we was at a party, and I was like, who's this? And they're like, a friend gave me a CD. He was like, Kissy Sellout, you gotta listen. A few days later, in the car, you're on the radio.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
You were up that late.
I was up that late, but you've just got Wicked Slot on Radio 1, haven't you? It's kind of like your year. How do you feel? This year's gone fantastic.
Yeah, well, it's nice of you to say that. I mean, I've been cooped up a lot, just trying to get an album done. Also doing this, working on this live show because it's, God, it takes ages to sort all this stuff out. It's so much more difficult than DJing. So it's nice to hear stuff like that because I think because I spent so much time cooped up indoors. It's nice to hear, that I don't know. It's nice to hear people that still say nice things, I suppose.
I mean, how does it work for you? I mean, how because everyone does it differently. Like when you're working on your stuff and your live show, is it a lot sitting at home on your own, working it through? I mean, guys out there that are in the music industry, DJs and artists that are starting out, they want to know this kind of stuff. I mean, is it quite lonely?
Is it quite lonely?
In your room, on your own, working on your tracks?
I suppose so. I mean, I don't know. With the band, obviously, a lot of it's spent with other people, which is new, which is quite new for me. But I suppose, yeah. I mean, definitely producing tracks. A lot of it is just, me by myself. I suppose, just doing what I've always wanted to do. I suppose, and trying not to think too much about copying other people and trying. I don't know, really, just staying true to yourself and hopefully the nicer stuff comes out. I think that's when I've written really nice stuff that I'm really pleased about. Is when I've just kind of gone, okay, that such doesn't sound very good. What can I do now? Okay, I'll just go for it, and then it happens. So it's quite nice.
Where do you find your inspiration? Because obviously, as you say, it's hard to kind of not copy other people and find your own sound. So, who's inspiring you at the moment?
Well, at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I've just, I suppose I've always just listened to what I've listened to, and well, for things like when I was younger, I used to listen to a lot of Speed Garage and a lot of underground drum and bass and stuff like the tapes. I used to buy the tape packs, of MCs.
And then make your own little mixtape at home.
And they'd have rewinds and horns and stuff. And but I used to listen to lots of. But I mean, when I was about 11, I was really into like Nirvana and grunge bands like Smashing Pumpkins and stuff. And then I think I discovered more when I got into people like Fierce House Cats and stuff later on. I also realised, I found out that he was more inspired by Human League and Tears for Fears and stuff. So I started listening to that as well, and it's all a mishmash of all that stuff really. And I'm a sucker for a complicated guitar solo and stuff. So I just always try and get that kind of element of complicated melodies and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, how do you see yourself developing? Because with it being the 10th anniversary of Creamfields, it's massively changed, hasn't it? It's gone from the vinyl, and then DJs are playing with their tracks, and then like yourself, you're working at live gigs, live action stage, musicians. You've got people have saxophones, all sorts on their stage. I mean, where do you kind of think you're going to go with all of this? Because it just gets bigger and bigger, and more people in your gang.
Well, it's nice I suppose it's nice to hear that. I just think with I've noticed as I was growing up, there's a cycle of genres. Things come in that they're cool 1 minute and they're not cool the next minute. What seems to be happening now, and people that embody this kind of thing, typical examples like Late the Pier, is where you're listening to the music and it's not just a particular genre being revived. It's so many different things. It's so many different favourite records put in. So many things. And I think that's just the modern way of working. And I think that is reflected in the fact that you've got these live bands and stuff coming through now, because it's the next step. It's moulding different things together, and ultimately it gives a better performance, hopefully.
Yeah.
So and I'm just trying, you know what I mean?
You're so modest. It's so lovely and modest. It's such a big year for you. You're travelling around and stuff. How have you found that? Have you found being away from home and stuff a bit of a strain?
Yeah, it is, to be honest, because you don't. But I've always wanted to make an album in particular. I've always wanted to have my own album out, and the only way that can happen is if you just lock yourself up and do it, which is hard because I haven't seen my family in particular for a long time. But now big shows like this are done at Creamfields. I can relax a bit. I'm not, I've got Monday off. Yeah, but it is quite hard, to be honest. It is quite hard, and also the live band is completely different to DJing. There's so many more things to worry about. I mean, because you can go on stage and if one of the bass guitars isn't plugged in, that's it, no bass. You're not going to hear any bass, and you know what I mean.
It's all those things to worry about.
Yeah, exactly. And it's and when they that band's playing tracks that I've written with my cousin, and it's just it's quite. You know what I mean? I kind of thought that when you got to this level, someone else did it for you, but it's not. So I suppose it's nice in a way. I'm still doing everything, but it is quite stressful.
Yeah, I mean, you got to say you got Monday off. What do you do after a gig like this? I mean, obviously, it's a massive high, so there must be some kind of come down. What do you do on your days off when you a bit of a loose end, really?
I suppose so. I'll go and get a pizza or rent out a DVD or something.
Chill
That's
out.
a bit boring, isn't it?
Well, it's just normal. It's nice to know that you're normal.
That's a night out for me. Or go and see some school friends in Colchester or something in Essex. That'll be, I suppose. That'd be a bit of fun and stuff.
Just hanging out with your mates and stuff.
I don't really get to do that anymore.
Yeah, no, it's nice just to kind of just be normal, really, because as I say, you're on the road, especially now, massive change, big year. When you are down, what's your guilty pleasure in your music box? You've got quite a varied selection. There must be something that you could admit to me.
Guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure. What do you put on and have a dance around the bedroom in your pants? Come on.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, you've caught me off. I'm taking too long to think of something, aren't I?
No. We can edit this space out. It's fine.
I don't know. Maybe a bit of Simple Minds or
That's not that bad. There must be something worse. I mean, have you got some Westlife?
Oh dear,
Girls
dear
Aloud?
oh Lord. No,
I mean, we're talking.
Don't
we
condone
want you
that
to
kind
admit
of
the
business.
No.
Sorry. Not really into that kind of stuff. I mean, no, sorry.
No,
It's not
sorry.
a very interesting answer, is it?
No, it's fine. It's fine. If you haven't got a
Funny thing
guilty
is,
pleasure.
you say things like that now. You say, play a Simple Minds record, and it's quite. Everyone thinks, everyone says that's quite
Next
cool.
week you'll be at a wedding going, I love this one.
No, but it's just I think that's how times have changed. It's odd how that's cool now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't even get a DJ gig in Essex until I was 21. Because I just the music I was playing was too weird and people didn't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden it comes in and it's just a bit weird. Yeah.
It has really
Also,
changed.
I was an underdog. You know what I mean? So that feels still. You know what I mean? When you say things like it's been a big year for you, it's kind of a bit like. Has it? You know what I mean? Really? I still think all the big people are still doing big things.
Well, things have changed.
It's just little old me, really. It's in the radio show, it's great. I think it's great fun doing it, but I don't think I'm the best radio presenter in the world. I just give it a good go. You know what I mean? I have fun doing it, and I try and just do a better show every time I do it.
Well, I mean, that's why you're going to progress. When you're coming to somewhere like Creamfields, I mean, how does it feel, as you say, to see almost like people that you've really respected in the music industry? Do you still get moments of where you're like, oh my God, that's
yeah? It's funny though, because you can meet certain big DJs, and they're really big, but you don't necessarily get quite so starstruck. But when I had Aphrodite on the phone when I just stood in front of Mac on Radio 1, and I got really starstruck.
Really.
And it's just certain producers and stuff. And when I met DJ Hype as well, I got a bit kind of nervous. Wasn't really sure what he wanted to talk about. You know what I mean? Got a bit. That's when I get really starstruck and stuff like that. With other people, it's just a bit surreal. Meeting people like Felix the House Cat. Whoa.
Legend. My car's named after him.
Your car's named after him.
That's a
Is
whole
it a good
nother
car?
story. It's a little Vauxhall Corsa in green. It's a bit of a story. We're interviewing you. You don't need to know about that. We went out to see Felix the House Cat, and it was the first Hard Cat. It was the first night out I'd driven my brand new car, and we ended up going.
With your Westlife CDs.
No, we ended up going
I don't think
backstage
Felix
with him,
would
having
approve
a
of that.
party. Anyway, you don't need to know about my car called. Next time you see him.
She pulled it up, right?
No, so I'm proud. I'm proud of my car being called Felix. Anyway, before you go, I want to know your ideal festival lineup. Next year, you're going to be back at the festivals. It's clearly obvious. Who would you like to be playing with?
Fully.
That a little meow, a little Felix meow.
Probably on the decks or something. I'd have J-Mo and Andy George, who've just got a new slot at Radio 1, which is great because I got them on the Essential Mix, and it was really nice doing nights with them. Probably definitely Later Pier, of course. I can't. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of. There's lots of people I like at the moment, but I mean, I really like Mystery Jets. I really like Laura Marlin's really cool. Lots of people really.
Yeah.
But everyone is on the main stages these days, so it's not really. You know what I mean? It's kind of you come to festivals like this, and it kind of is your ideal lineup, which is strange for that's how times are changing. You know what I mean? It's cool.
It has been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
to
you
speak
sure?
to you.
You're not
Yes.
going to cut me out?
Yes, I'm not going to edit you. I wish you had a better guilty pleasure.
Sorry.
But we're interviewing you. this time next year and get a guilty pleasure.
I will think
ready.
about it. You should have prepped me. And I would have said,
Sorry,
"Go on,
darling. Sorry, darling. Thanks
for having
very
me on.
much. Kisses, hello.
Thank you.